So a kite is a quadrilateral with exactly two pairs of consecutive congruent sides. I know that's a lot of C's, but it's got two pairs of consecutive congruent sides. So what that means is that this side is congruent to that side. That's one pair. The red is congruent to the red. And the green is congruent to the green. That's two pairs. Two pairs of consecutive congruent sides. They're not opposite sides congruent. They're consecutive sides congruent. So that's property number 1 on your family tree. I know it's a long sentence to write in that small space. Two pairs of consecutive congruent sides. You can abbreviate. For congruent, you can just put the congruent symbol. Two pairs of consecutive congruent sides. That's property number 1. So we already did that one. Property number 2. What do you think property number 2 is? Look at the purple kite. The kite stole that one from the rhombus. That's one of the rhombus's properties. The diagonals are perpendicular. So they must be cousins. The kite and the rhombus, they must be cousins because they have a trait in common. Their diagonals are perpendicular. So that's property number 2. The diagonals cross at 90-degree angles. So we're going to get some right triangles. Yes, we are. Right triangles. So guess what? You're probably going to use Pythagorean theorem a time or two with kites. So the diagonals are perpendicular just like a rhombus. So don't get it confused with a rhombus. They are different. A rhombus is a parallelogram, whereas a kite is not a parallelogram. He's his own family tree, his own branch of the family tree. Okay, this is not a property, so don't write this down in the properties. Every kite, remember this is not a property, every kite is going to have one of his diagonals serve as a line of symmetry. Do you know what it means to be symmetrical? Right, right. It's like a mirror. So if this is the line of symmetry, it means everything on this side is identical to what's on this side. It's like a mirror. This matches this, a mirror. So one of the diagonals is going to be a mirror. Not both of them, but one of them. If I were to fold the kite on the dotted line, it would match. It would be identical. So here's, how many properties do you have left? 3 and 4. Okay, so the property is that that diagonal of symmetry, it bisects the other diagonal, so that's one of them, and then it bisects the opposite angles. So this is like property 3, and this is property 4. So you can word that however you want that makes sense to you. There's one diagonal, it's the diagonal of symmetry, and it does two things. It bisects the other diagonal, so that's number 3, and it bisects the angles, that's number 4. So the diagonal of symmetry bisects the other diagonal, and it bisects the angles. That's property 3 and property 4. Bisect means cut in half. So that diagonal pretty much cuts the kite perfectly in half. Whatever happens on one side, happens on the other side. Mirror image. So do both diagonals get cut in half? No, just one of them. The other diagonal, it's not the same length on either side. Now, most of the time, and when I say most, I mean like 98% of the time, whichever diagonal is longer, that's going to be your diagonal of symmetry. And whichever diagonal is shorter, that's going to be the one cut in half. But I will tell you that it can happen the other way around. It just hardly ever does, because it's a really weird looking kite when it does. Okay, let's try one of your examples on your sheet. Try an example, try an example. This is from yesterday, Dimitri. We had this on one side and this on the other. No. Okay, what are we looking for? Sides or angles? Sides or angles, sides or angles? Angles. So we gotta remember 90 and 180. Those are involved. I give you one angle, and you can find, not all of them, but you can find angle 1 and angle 2. Nasia, what do you want to do first?
Angle 1.
Yes, what is it? I'll give you a hint. The diagonals are perpendicular. Perpendicular mean? What does perpendicular mean? It's like a T. Perpendicular, you don't know? Perpendicular. 90, 90. Guess what? In a kite, the intersection there, you get 4 right angles. 90, 90, 90, 90. What's the measure of angle 1? It's 90. That was not hard. We didn't have to do any math. Okay, who wants Austin? Angle 2. I was going to say who wants it, and I just changed mine and called it you. Angle 2. So, that's a right triangle, right? It's not 27. That's a right triangle. This is 27. So this is 27, because remember, guys, it's symmetrical. It's a mirror. Whatever it is on this side, it is on this side. So now we need to find this one. We've got a right triangle with a 90-degree angle and a 27-degree angle. Everyone can find this missing angle, but Austin's going to say it out loud. 63. 63. 63. So we're going to use right triangles a lot in a kite. Okay, next example. Quadrilateral kite is a kite. KS, let's label our picture. You ready? KS is 7, so that one's 7. IE, ooh, this whole thing, IE is 26. And IT is 20. See what you can do with that. Go ahead and work on it for a minute. The first thing I would do when I'm handed a kite, the first thing I would do is put a big box right here. 90, 90, 90, 90. You've got 4 right triangles. That's really important. Here. Okay. The next thing I would do is figure out which one is my diagonal of symmetry. This one, the green one, cuts everything in half. It runs into that 26, so it's going to cut 26 in half. What's half of 26? 13. So you should have labeled so far, you should label this 13, 13. And then you just have to do Pythagorean theorem 2 times. Pythagorean theorem twice. Go. 2 different Pythagorean theorems. Kaylee, what are you going to do to get KE? How are you going to find this one? Okay, so I did tell you we're going to use Pythagorean theorem. Yep, tell me what to write. Yep, very good. 7 squared plus 13 squared, guys. Is it a perfect square? Do you get a whole number? No. Oh, man. 7 squared plus... So not a whole number. 14.76. 14.8. You want to do 14.8? That sounds good. Okay. Alea, can you help me out with the next one? With Pythagorean theorem the next time? Okay. Catherine, what's our other Pythagorean theorem that we're going to use? To find ST. We're trying to find this guy. We've kind of got a lot of stuff in our picture, so if your picture starts getting too crowded, redraw your triangle. This is 13 and this is 20. So can you tell me what to write? Find this. What? There you go. Awesome. 20 squared minus 13 squared. 20 squared minus 13 squared. Is that one perfect square? No. What is it? 15.2? 15.2? Okay. Okay. And SI, we found that at the very beginning. What's SI? 13. Lucky number. Next one. We're doing good. We're almost done. Label your picture. That's the first step. What did I tell you to do first on every kite? Yep. Put the quadruple 90-degree angles. The quad. The 90 quad. Quad of 90s. I don't know what I'm saying. Start working the problem. So some of us are having trouble when I give you 3 letters in an angle. You're having trouble figuring out what angle that is. So when you're given 3 letters, M, N, O, your first hint is that N, that's the middle letter. So that's where the number is going to go. But you need to figure out, you need to start at M, travel to N, and end at O. Is that half of the angle or is that the whole angle? M, N, O. That's the whole angle. So that whole angle is 72. If it said M, N, L, it would have been half. But it's M and O. And then O, L, M. Oop, that's the whole angle as well. 98. The diagonal of symmetry, his only job is to cut things in half. So you need to be cutting things in half. You need to be dividing by 2. Ashley, give me the answer to any angle you feel like. Any of these. M, P, N is 90. Perfect. Dimitri, give me the answer to any of those angles. Okay, what are you typing in your calculator right now? What are you working on? Just tell me what you're typing. Are you dividing something by 2?
Nope.
Oh. Kendall, give me any of those angles.
41 is
L-O-M. Let's see. L-O-M. Right here is 41. So 98 divided by 2 minus 90. I'm sure. 98 divided by 2. Yep, this is 49. If that's 49, then that's 41 because those angles have to add up to 180. Very nice. Austin, give me an angle, any angle.
MLN is 49.
M-L-N. Awesome. 49. Because 98 got bisected. Cut in half. Divide by 2. 49, 49. Lewis M., give me either one of those last 2 angles. P and O would be the easier of the 2 if you want the easier one. Very good. How'd you get it? 72 divided by 2. 36, 36. Very good. Who wants the last one? Who knows it? Anyone besides Kendall know it? And Julius? So we've got a right triangle. We've got a right triangle. That's 90. That's 36. So add them up and subtract from 180. Julius muttered it as he's laying his head down. 54. Very good. Okay, we're getting close. You're doing great. Oh, that's just the family tree. Do y'all have this one, Allison? Some of you have it and some of you don't. 3 inches, 4. Yep, you got it. Okay, good. Okay, Allison wants to build a kite. She has 3.75 feet of piping for the border and diagonals of the kite. If the length of the long diagonal is 1 foot, okay, so the length of the long diagonal is 1 foot. 3 plus 4? Okay. Are y'all's 3 and 4 in a different spot?
Yeah.
I'm confused. Okay. Given the information on the picture, does she have enough piping to build her kite? I'm really not sure where that 3 and that 4 goes. Do y'all know? Can y'all tell? The 4 looks like it goes here. And I'm guessing, okay, so the 3 is going to need to be here. Okay. So if this is 3, what's this, guys? 3. The length of this one, it says, is 1 foot. How many inches is that? 12. So we've got 12 inches and we've used up 4. 12 minus 4. Okay. Now let's find the perimeter because she's going to fill up the border and the diagonals. Okay, so let's do some Pythagorean theorem. Megan, do 3 squared plus 4 squared. Take the square root. Julius, do 3 squared plus 8 squared. And take the square root. We're doing some Pythagorean theorem. Yes. If LM is 5, Brett, what's LO? 5. Julius, what'd you get? You were doing 3 squared plus 8 squared. I'm taking the square root. Do you want to do it for him? 8.5? Okay, Genesis 8.5. If MN is 8.5, what's ON, Dimitri? Okay, yep, 8.5, you're right. Okay, let's do some adding. Let's add it all up. I want to know if she has enough piping to make her kite. She's going to be really sad if she doesn't. We're going to add all the numbers up, the edges and the diagonals. 5 plus 5 plus 8.5 plus 8.5, thank you, plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 8. She's got 40. She needs 45 inches of piping. How much does she have? She's got 3.75 feet. Is it enough or not enough? How many inches is 3.75 feet? 3.75 times 12. Oh, it's exactly 45. So what's the answer? No, because she needs 45. Yes, because she only needs 40. Does she have enough piping to build her kite? It's okay. She has 45 feet, and she needs 45 feet. Yes, because she only needs 40 inches. No. It can be determined. Do y'all know what the decimal place was on this? Because that kind of matters. 8.54. So she's going to be short like 0.08 of piping. She's going to be short. Okay. Last thing. Always, sometimes, never. Give it time. Y'all are done. I can tell you.